All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're not just going to retell a spooky story. We're going to pop the hood on a modern horror classic and see exactly what makes it tick. We're deconstructing The Graveyard Shift on Moonlight Road to figure out how it builds this incredible sense of dread from the most normal, everyday details. Right out of the gate, the story hits you with this weirdly specific and ominous piece of advice from a manager. And if you see your car in the lot, don't go check on it. I mean, what kind of workplace orientation includes that? It's that first little detail that just doesn't sit right. A rule that just hangs there in the air, basically begging to be broken.
And that leads us right into our first section, this setup. You see, the best horror stories, they don't just throw scares at you. They build a whole world with its own kind of twisted logic. And this one does it perfectly by laying out the rules of what is clearly a cursed place right from the jump. So you can see right here, it's like the perfect recipe for terror. You've got this lonely truck stop diner in the absolute middle of nowhere. You've got a young guy, brand new, totally isolated on the graveyard shift. The whole atmosphere just screams loneliness. And then, the final ingredient, a blood moon. Every single one of these elements just stacks up, creating this pressure cooker of dread before anything has even happened. And here are those rules spelled out for us. Carla, the manager, lays out these super specific, super strange instructions. You know, it's such a classic horror trope, right? The seasoned veteran gives a warning that sounds like a crazy superstition, but it's actually a literal survival guide. And of course, it just perfectly sets the stage for what's about to go down. Okay, so let's see how this thing starts to build. We're moving into the second phase, the anomaly. This is that moment where the story shifts from these vague, creepy warnings into something real, something unsettling. And it all starts with a single detail that is just, well, wrong. The real genius here is the pacing. This isn't some cheap jump scare. It is a slow burn of absolute fear. First, the blood moon sets the scene. Then you get this little jingle from the door's bell. Once. Weird. Then it happens again. You could almost explain it away, but then he looks outside and bam, there's the visual proof. His car door is open, the light's on. Each step is just one small notch up the ladder of wrongness, and it's slowly building into this undeniable terror. And this is where the story takes a brilliant turn. We're diving into the part I'm calling the mimic. Because the threat is no longer just some strange thing happening outside. Oh no, it is becoming intensely personal and deeply, deeply psychological. I mean, just think about that for a second. In this day and age, with cell phones in every pocket, who in their right mind is using a rusty old payphone at a truck stop at 2:30 a.m.? The idea itself is just bizarre and so creepy. It's like a signal that the normal rules of our world, they don't apply here tonight. And then he picks up. And through all the static and what sounds like heavy breathing, he hears a voice. His own voice. Let that sink in. This isn't some monster growling. It's a perfect copy. The horror here isn't just about a physical threat. It's about the complete violation of your own identity. The call doesn't end with a scream or some evil laugh. It ends with this. Click. Just a single, everyday sound that is absolutely terrifying in this moment. It's so cold. It's deliberate. It tells you that the thing on the other end is smart, and it just confirmed it has the right target. And that single click just throws us headfirst into the climax. This is the point of no return. The mystery part is over. This is no longer about trying to figure out what's going on. It's about surviving a predator that is actively and intelligently coming for you. This gets right to the heart of what makes this so scary. It's that whole uncanny valley thing. It's not just some monster sitting in his car. It's a perfect reflection of him, right down to the hoodie he's wearing and the tired way he slumps his shoulders. The terror is in that perfect mirroring. It's a hostile version of himself, and it's just sitting there, watching him. And just look at what it does next. It doesn't just charge the building or smash a window. No, it turns its head slowly. It walks around the diner with these slow, methodical footsteps. It tries a locked door handle, and then it starts scratching at the lock, like it's trying keys. This isn't some wild animal. This is an intelligent hunter, and it's calmly, coolly trying to figure out how to get in. But the story doesn't end just because the sun comes up. Far from it. Now we get to the aftermath. The immediate danger might be gone, but the horror kind of solidifies, leaving behind this permanent psychological scar and a chilling, lingering question.
Carla finally puts a name to the fear, the moonlight mimic. And that's actually a really crucial step, because it takes this from a single terrifying nightmare and turns it into an established piece of folklore. It wasn't just a random thing that happened to him. It's something that happens. It has rules, and it has a terrifying goal: to take your place.
And if you ask me, this is the real horror of the story. The physical proof just vanishes. The car is cold, there are no footprints, but the mental damage is forever. He quits, he cuts off the one person who would believe him, and now he's haunted by these glitches in his own reality, seeing his own smiling face in the mirror, hearing breathing on the radio. The terror isn't outside anymore, it's inside his head. Or maybe, just maybe, a piece of it followed him home.
Which, of course, leaves all of us with one final, unsettling thought. The story is over, but the legend of the mimic is out there now. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is there a blood moon out tonight?